I think that this is me.
Welcome to the Empower Hour. We're bringing power to the people because the people have the power. This squad's going to entertain, enlighten, and empower y'all. I'm Queen Kaya, joined by Pharaoh Hammond Freeman and Gina the Great. But before we do anything else, like always, we're going to bless this show and our kings and queens listening.
Blessed melanated rising, my people. Blessed melanated rising. I am so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful to life. I'm so grateful to God, our creator, and I'm grateful to the ancestors for making it possible for us to be able to be on here this morning. And I just ask that today's show, let it be entertaining for our guests. Let it be uplifting for our guests. Let it be educational, and most importantly, let it be empowering. I'm sending out the spirits of love, light, unity, great health, positivity, and peace on all our listeners this morning. Hotep, amen, and ashe. I still feel I need a tambourine. Like when I'm starting that, I feel like I want to.
That's because you're too extra. You don't need a tambourine.
Yeah, so that was an amazing mix this morning from DJ K Quick. Thank you, DJ K Quick, for that amazing soca mix. You know, just bring that spirit of summer, bring that summer in. So this is going to be an awesome show.
Is it officially summer? No, June's officially summer.
Oh, it is?
July, August.
Oh, well, no. that explains it. Okay, that explains why it hasn't been warm.
Well, it was warm.
Ups and downs. You're right.
It was warm. But you know what? The long weekend, they said it was supposed to rain every single day. Right. I mean, well, you were away for the long weekend, right? Yeah. So you were traveling. Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to rain every single day. So I was adulting. Let me just get into the week, right?
Yeah.
So I was adulting because I was like, oh man, it's gonna suck. It's gonna like we had such great weather beforehand, and now it's just gonna rain on us, and it didn't. And I don't know if I was more upset at it not raining or me not making plans to enjoy the fun in the sun.
Yeah, I'd be more vexed about the second part. Yeah.
Right? Because I was just like, if you guys would have just told me the truth, I could have utilized the pool in my condo, because I would have been happy to do that.
You have a pool inside or outside?
Outdoor.
Really?
Yeah, it's an outdoor pool.
You sure it was pool weather already? Pool weather?
The weekend was absolutely pool weather. Yeah, you were stuck in tornadoes.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, heat. So smoldering heat on this side.
Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was Saturday. I think Saturday was like, I was just like, yo. No, it was Saturday, because when I left my house too, I dressed according to the fact that it said thunderstorms, yada yada.
Wow.
No, it hit 34.
Wow.
I was just like, what? And I had full, long, dark leggings.
Right.
I was like, it's so hot.
Yeah, judgment.
Not judgment. Not brimstone and fire. So that threw me off. But other than that, it was a pretty good week. Mm-hmm. I know I didn't even give you a chance to ask me how my week was.
No, well, it's kind of our thing. You know, you kind of you knew that was coming.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're using telepathy these days.
You ain't lying. Mm-hmm. You ain't lying.
It's not the best for the radio listeners, but
imagine just silence. Just like, oh, y'all didn't hear that? Y'all were part of the conversation. Mm-hmm. You didn't tap it.
Right, facts. Mm-hmm.
You didn't tap it.
No, but sorry, before you go off the weather topic, because really, I was in Ontario this past weekend, and it was the scariest thing. I've never because it's like, how do I explain this? First of all, shout out to Mother Nature, all right? Shout out to Mother Nature and her ability to do whatever she wants. Like, when she wants to. Like, because we got the alert on the phones, right? And it comes through like an Amber Alert. Yeah. And unfortunately, anyways, I shouldn't be saying this, but I do. Like, so I looked at it, I was like, whatever, another alert. I don't even think I read it good. I was like, weather alert. I was like, whatever. This is even worse than a missing person. I'm not paying attention to this at all.
Wow.
Yeah, wow and truth. Because like, I was all getting ready to go outside. That's just to tell you, like, and then I'm like, where did the sun go? Like, it went from day to night, like in seconds. I'm like, yeah. And then it's like the winds picked up, and like, I'm talking from the Amber Alert, we're talking 120 seconds, and the world was completely different.
Oh, see?
Like, it was like that, where I looked down, put the phone down, started walking towards the door. I'm like, whoa.
They could have alerted you a little earlier.
That's what I'm saying. At least give a man time to adjust and reconsider the fact that I ignored that thing. I didn't even have time to reconsider.
No, in all fairness, you didn't read it then. They could have warned you an hour earlier and been like, man, whatever.
You're right. Still, you're right. Anyways, just to say, guys, it was something that I've never actually witnessed before, like myself, and it was something interesting to see that within moments that the whole world changed. Like
because it was tornadoes, but I also saw the rains were coming in.
The rains. I was running around the house, closing windows, all kind of thing. Like it was just like wind, rain, and then after it was just carnage everywhere. You're seeing trees broken, branches on the road. But then the sun, and everything came out. So you'd swear like if you didn't witness it with your own eyes, you wouldn't understand what happened. Like why are all these trees on the ground?
Well, then I guess that's what they thought was going to come our way,
right?
And it missed us entirely because I still have not seen the rain. Like I didn't,
wow, you guys are. Really lucky.
Like all through. Well, anyway, like I mean, I'm not mad at rain. Because it lets everything grow. Like this is springtime, and that's the purpose of it. But I don't like when I base myself off of what the meteo tells me.
Oh yeah,
and the meteo is just lying to me.
The mensonge.
And like I checked hourly too. It was like yeah by 3 p.m. rain, thunderstorms. I was just like,
no,
but
you're like
that
too. You're very meticulous. Like you would have actually checked the weather. Like moments. So what else happened, Gina? Was that it? Was that your highlight?
Oh my gosh! So I didn't even mention this last week because I didn't get a chance to. By the time we recorded, I didn't get a chance to.
Oh, shout out to you and Kaya last week. You guys deep dove. You guys went hard in the paint.
Yeah,
Friends is a big deal to you guys. I see.
It was. The thing is, we probably would have deep dived a little bit more in family too, but there was a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there was, and I'm not holding. It was a good topic. It was like, there was a lot that needed to be unpacked.
That needed to be covered.
You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed the show.
In hindsight, maybe that could have been. I didn't think it was enough content for 2 separate segments, but apparently there is.
It clearly was.
Because I see sometimes you have friends that become family,
right?
And sometimes you gotta treat family like friends.
Yeah, and then you guys also spoke about just the family that you have to kind of be careful around your children, and it's just like we gotta stop that. Like those are heavy things. Like
it was heavy
because it really does. It impacts generations, right?
And it was a necessary talking point. And of course, as soon as I said it, like the timeline, because the phones be listening.
Yep.
Timeline, YouTube, everything. All of a sudden, all these videos are talking about it. I was like, okay, I didn't say it was me. I mean, I already know we have to talk about this, but geez. Either way, no, but I had a quiet work morning where like I could do like heads down work, and I played Kendrick.
Oh, you were gonna talk about it now during entertainment. You can't talk about it now, Gina. It's
part of my week.
Yeah?
Are you gonna dictate my week?
You're right. You're absolutely right. It was part of my week too. So go ahead. No. I ain't gonna hold you.
Like, so I only got a chance to listen to it once.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Right. But that one time was a lot where I was just like, okay, this needs another quiet moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I did not have, and I will have moving forward. But man, oh man, Kendrick, like, you want to talk about like hard topics?
Yeah. No, he's
like he did an album of it.
Yeah, he's an amazing artist. He's an amazing artist.
The album's amazing, and like I'm not really one for anyone who kind of yells at me, and sometimes Kendrick does that. Like sometimes he yell raps, and that's not the Kendrick I personally gravitate to.
I understand, yeah.
But that wasn't this album. So this was an album where I equate it to how you have different type of preachers. You have some of the preachers who not yell at you, but raises their voice,
right? Yeah.
And they call it passion. I blank out on that. I can't, like, when we had that back in the day and that happened, my mind went to like, okay, groceries. I gotta do this, So I couldn't take in the message. And then you have the other ones where I'm gonna bring down my tone and we're just gonna talk. Let's talk.
Right.
And that's what that album gave me. And then like as I was doing my work, I was just like, oh, word? What else happened?
Right.
And then like I was like, oh, you saying some? Oh, yeah. Congratulations! Like snaps to that. Oh, look at this man being a man, talking about man things. In the community. Kendrick, chapeau, hats off. That was amazing.
Yep. No, I could snaps to that. I've listened to it 25 times at least at this point. And
was it on play for your drive out to Toronto?
Well, no, yes and no. Yeah, because children in the car, they kind of friendly. Like the one track I kind of skip. Like I listened to it the first time, but I do skip it every time now. Is the couple one where it's like I understand the message. I just don't need to hear it every time I listen to the album.
Because that's not your reality,
right? No, exactly.
And it's a lot of people's reality, and they need to listen and they need to hear what they sound like.
Right, I hear that.
Right,
I'm
and
all for
100%. I agree with you. Like that's not your reality. Like I have that. You guys all know J. Cole's my dude, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's certain tracks on certain albums where it's just like, this isn't talking to me.
I hear you. Yeah, exactly. So that's basically what it do. But yeah, no. So it's amazing. But I'll digress on that. My week. Thanks for asking, Gina.
I never said I was done.
No, well, it's just I
jumped
kinda,
on my Kendrick bandwagon.
No, that was a subtle cue. It's just I felt you were going a little long.
Wow.
But
welcome back, Pharaoh.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be back.
The Pharaoh Show.
So now I'm going to be quick. First I'm going to be quick because I don't remember what I did last week. I'm just kind of just going to give you guys some quick highlights. So I did go out to Toronto last weekend, and it was awesome. I haven't been in a while. So big shout out to Ryan from ACBN. He gave me, we went out to go check out some black businesses. Shout out to Ra, which is Réveillé Afrique. And they're in the Bramalea City Center. Wow, I think everything's coming to me. That's amazing. So yeah, they are actually our Kitty Antoine. You know, Kitty Antoine has the Espace Urbain down on St. Hubert Street. Same concept. It's a bunch of black business owners who came together, and they have different. It's all fashion related though. Okay. You know, it's a mall location. This is their second one, which is awesome. And I'm just giving them a plug. Anybody who's out in Toronto, definitely check them out and check out their location downtown. And the reason I say that, because as I'm speaking to the woman, she's like, yo, we opened a downtown location. An elder white woman had the time to go into the store and say, you guys would probably do better in a black neighborhood.
Oh my God.
And I was like, whoa.
Well, and because Bramalea City Center is in Brampton, and that is much more
but at the same time, they have a lot of clients, first of all, that are outside of the black community, first of all.
But how dare you?
That's what I like. The woman, and she's like, she louder because she's like, you know, she's an older woman, and she's like, a part of it seemed like it was good intention. Like, it was like, you know, I think your business would do like way better. Like, and it's not to say your business is not doing good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did you just assume, exactly. Karen?
Anyways, there was a lot of assumptions going on there.
Guys, I'm sorry. Well, intentions, the road to hell is paved in good intentions.
Talk about it.
And we have to check people. And it doesn't mean you have to check them in a rude way. You just gotta be like, oh, haha, listen, my business is doing great. I appreciate you for thinking that you're giving me good advice. That advice is wrong.
Right.
And it's racist. Have a nice day.
Well, see, I like the numbers. I would have the numbers speak. Have people just lined up outside the business. Have people just, let her come and see the place is doing extremely well. So I'm telling you guys that Google, it's R.A. Réveillé Afrique. Shout out to them. There was a cool pop-up shop.
Sorry, the way you said that, I thought you were talking to your phone saying Google. Shop so that it can pop up on your phone on a regular basis. And no, it's gonna do it. It's gonna do it.
No, I don't talk to my phone like that, and I find it weird when people do. But anyways, so that was dope. I was able to see do that. So I had a great tour. We went to a couple of different places. There was even this cool in Toronto they have this thing. It's like a bunch of containers that they put together to make like a shopping mall, like a shopping center. Like, very cool. So there was a black event that was happening there, but due to the flash storm, that hurricane or tornado, whatever you want to call it, one of the transitioner things blew. Like, power went, in other words. Yeah, one of the electrical things popped, okay? In other words, breaking down to basic English. And so they had to cancel, which sucked because by the time I got there, the sun was out, everything. So it was like, you could see it would have been a beautiful event. And there were some vendors still packing up, and they're like, guys, you should have seen the people. Like, it was...
But Sanji said it was such a flash storm and it was in and out. Oh, no, because it blew. And
it blew the power. So then that was it. Like, once the power blew, they were like, the event is done. And no one really knew what to expect. No one really knew if the sun was going to be coming out after. Everyone was just like, so whatever. So, but that was that. I was still able to go support. I bought some juices. I can't remember the name of the guy. It's like A+ or something like that. But anyways, did that. Then I just met up with the Mandem, yo. Everybody knows, people who know me long time know that I when I was younger, I was a foot soldier. I was able to connect with Kwame back in Toronto. Big shout out to my homeboy, Kwame Thomas.
Kwame's OG Montreal, though.
Yo, Kwame's old. Anybody listening is like, of course I know Kwame and his whole family. So big shout out to everybody. So I was able to link up with the Mandem, and it was awesome because we went out. My boy Nigel came out too. We went out to the water down by Lakeshore.
I thought you were about to say, when you said went out, I'm like, y'all went clubbing?
Yeah, no, Gina, stop it. This is me. Yeah, Shy on the other hand, Shy one turned up. Anyways, Shy's regretting it. So, no, we high-fived. She went one way, I went the other. I went to go line with the Mandem. But it was funny because we're grown-ups. First of all, before heading out to line, we had to check with our wives. We're like, is it okay? I'm heading out with my friends? You all right, Dad? Yeah? Okay, I took care of everything. I washed the dishes. I made sure. I showered in Zinga. She's in her pajamas. I'm all right. I can go now? Okay, cool.
My chores are done.
Yo, no, but it's the same thing on my boy's side. He's asking his wife. He's like, hold on, guys. I got to put you on mute. One sec. Comes back.
Not being on a three-way.
Of course. Yo, we're alive. We're watching. We're video timing. So he's like, hold on. Comes back. Okay, yeah, I can come. All right, cool. So anyway, so we linked up. Yo, man, we got to buy the water. And this is just a sign of where we're at. So we have, my man showed up with a bag. So I'm thinking maybe there's alcohol in this bag because this is the time. So, we're grown ups. But no, it was water. Alkaline water for everybody, bottles for everybody.
No, but that's better than liquor.
Yo,
that is alkaline water.
Come on,
that's not even like, you hold this bottle of Kirkland water.
Hey, thank you. He brought alkaline water for everybody. I was like, yo, this is where we're at in life. You know what I mean? We're growing up. We're talking young. We had on that water. We did talk some big talks. We had like $1 million conversation on that water. Literally, like just things that were good. We're setting up right now. Beautiful, beautiful things. And then at the end, we bust out some fireworks. I'll share them on our IGs. But yeah, no, Kwame's a fireworks man. So that was bust up some big time fireworks too. Not what we're used to. And I knew that when he asked us, are we okay with him lighting these? And we're like, wait, what? Why are you asking? Why are you asking my permission?
When your head does like the dog, like.
What do you mean? Why are you asking my permission? But then he took out this box that was like the size of a car battery, and I'm like, that's not what. Nigel took 2 steps back. He's like, I don't know what's about to go down. Like that seems like it's on some next level things. But anyway, so just to say, it was dope, and the conversation we had was all about finance. You guys know I've been talking finance, educating the people, and just the value, guys. Like I've been plugging it as I know information. I'm going to continue to share. But right now, my little nugget before we transition out is, guys, if you have children, get life insurance for all your children. Whole life insurance.
That's interesting because this is the third time I've heard that.
Yeah.
In like recent history, and like and the second time was earlier today.
Nice.
Too, so
okay, good. I didn't know she was going to be calling you, by the way. I told him call Auntie Gigi and and present his business to you. He's studying to be a financial advisor. So he's
all right.
He's getting into business. He's going to come talk insurance with you and stuff like that.
He can ring my bell.
I figured he could. I was like, call all your aunties and uncles. Don't worry, everybody will see you.
100%.
But it's amazing. I have to say, like parents out there, if you want your youth to get involved in something. Like send them to the OFC right now because we're doing all kind of different things. We've been setting up mentorship programs and stuff for them. So maybe finance and business is not their thing, but they have a passion for something else. Send them to the OFC. So guys, as we're transitioning out now, this month has been all about relationships. Now, I don't think. No, I shouldn't preface it like this because all relationship is important. A spiritual relationship was important. Family was important. But what we're about to talk right now is just as important, I guess I could say, because we're talking business relationships. Business, and the reason it's so important is because, guys, business generates revenue. Revenue is what we need to be able to live on this planet, right? We need currency. We need capital. We need bread. We need dough. We need cash. All the acronyms just to say we need moolah, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to do that, especially in business, you need to understand the value of building relationships. You need to understand the value of networking. And I don't think there's there's no better person to have on the show with us today to talk about this. We have the one and only David Casseus that's with us. So with that, we're going to take a quick break just because Gina and I, we are long-winded. We've been talking mad stuff just to give you guys a little break. And we're going to come back with David Casseus, and we're going to go into the topic of relationship and business. Just take a quick positive cause, just to shout out our homegirls, Kemba and Andrea from Keen Real Estate Group. Whenever you're thinking real estate, whenever you're thinking investments, whenever you're thinking about planning for the long term, think Keen Real Estate Group. They're generating wealth for generations. KeenGroup.ca. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of hjcourtierauto.com. That's HJCOURTIERAUTO.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads. Check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out javalogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M-City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up, mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to West Can Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Oh, gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island and Côte-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people, y'all.
So guys, I'm excited. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it in my voice, but this is excitement you're hearing.
I mean, it's the same. Yep. We back. I'm about to say it's the same voice you have every time.
Yeah.
But,
Okay,
you're always excited.
I'm always excited. I was about to say, I'm hype. So,
oh, Lord.
Guys, like I said, we have the one and only David Casseus in studio with us today. So let me give you guys just some context, some history. I'm very blessed to have met David. He became an OFC member through a referral. I know a longtime friend, Matt, who referred Dave to us. Dave came to the OFC and he did our process mapping. Do you know what process mapping is?
No, I mean, I can assume it's kind of mapping out how you want the business to go and what stages you want it to go in. But
okay.
that's a sheer guess.
Good. Yeah, that was a good assumption. It was close. So first, what he does, he comes and does a snapshot of your current processes. So what are you actually doing, right? So this is what you're doing. This is on a operational. We did one for operations and for sales. So what are we doing, right? So then we get a snapshot of this is what we're doing. Now then he takes it and says, okay, what do we need to do? Right? Not just what do we want to do. That's what the difference is, because Dave, with his experience and what he does, it is what do we need to do to get us from the A, B, C straight to Z and bring your organization from where it is right now to $1 million, if not $1 billion organization. And this is what he does. And what is awesome is that he works with companies. I know he'll give you guys his background and what he works for, but just to say, he works with companies that are way huger than the OFC, right? And OFC, we're a large group, right? But like, I'm talking huge corporations. So we're super blessed to be able to have this type of intel and this kind of information, and just community feel reassured knowing that the OFC, who is here at your service, we have people like this behind the scenes ensuring that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing properly. So he came and he did that. So, but not just did he help us with the process mapping, and he's been actively working with us ever since to ensure that we're on course and getting to where we want to go. He also bridged the gap between the OFC and BNI, right? And that has been huge, right? So, and again, I talk about it very often, but for those who don't know, BNI, Business Networking International, they're the largest business networking platform on the planet Earth. So that bridge, that connection, guys, it's going beyond us, like what we're in the process of doing, and what not in the process, what we have done, and what we're continuing to do is something that's going to have generational impact. Especially the way we're doing it, the way we're setting it up. It is something that's going to empower the community, because it's the first time ever that BNI has more melanin focused chapters, right? So this is historical. I'm talking like they have chapters in Atlanta that are not melanin focused chapters.
In Atlanta or Georgia? Because I don't know how you're gonna be in Atlanta. And it not be melanated. That's great.
Exactly.
Georgia, I get it.
No.
Come on.
So understand. So this is just to say, so this is historical. All right. So now, with no further ado, I think I've given enough accolades here. With no further ado, I'm welcoming Dave to the mic. Welcome, Dave. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you on the Empower Hour.
Thank you. Wow.
Well, this is what I do, Dave. Come on.
I thought you were going to ask me what I knew about networking, but okay.
Carl, let Dave introduce himself, who he is.
No, I want to hear you, Gina.
Gina's going to talk her team.
No, it's the Pharaoh Show.
Gina, come on.
Gina, go ahead.
I'm totally playing. Go ahead, David.
All right.
Talk to us.
For sure. Well, I think the first thing would be to introduce myself, what I do. So my role, I'm a business analyst.
Okay.
And I have that superpower of breaking down a business to optimize it.
And I like the way he frames that, a superpower, because it's not everybody could do that. Not everybody could just take your business and break it down and show you this is where you're at. So yeah, sorry. Continue.
It's all right. And I don't
show.
And I don't do that by myself. I'm surrounded with a very strong team, and well, my goal, my big area Dash's goal is to buy 50 businesses. And to have half of my employees being women and the other half speaking 3 languages.
Can I interject? Before we get into anything more, I want to go back to being a business analyst, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that trajectory. How do you become a business analyst?
Ooh, excellent question. So I'm 45, right? I got my first computer. I was 7-8 years old. So in today's dollars, it's like having a toy of $6,000, right? And my dad was basically, do whatever you want with it, we'll fix it. So I was one of the early adopters, and by the time I went back to 80, from 15 to 17, I just knew that this is what I wanted to do in terms of IT, so technology. So the role of business analyst is fairly recent. It's not even 15 years old. And they realize that when you have a business and you have different functions and roles, the translation is not done correctly. So you want to raise let's say you have a membership organization, you want to raise the retention of that business. So what does retention means for marketing, for sales, for membership services, for all the different service in the business? The way managers talk, the rest of the business and the consultants and everyone surrounding them, they don't understand.
Right.
So I'm a translator. Basically, that's what I do. So I looked at the picture. I'm gonna speak very technically to the HR resources. I'm gonna talk about onboarding, about key stats and key philosophy about HR to optimize a business. Same thing with marketing. Same thing with technology. Same thing with an architect. With any other field, I translate what the business goals and priorities are.
Right, and it's the breakdown, because my understanding, because I've hired a business analyst or 20 in my career. And it depends on who you talk to and what that means, right? But I do understand that it's a lot of times, depending if it's like a business solutions analyst, if it's a business systems analyst, and there's a couple of different
functional analysts. They're all different positions.
Correct.
Yes.
And then my understanding, like as you said, that bridging of the gap, it's someone who's going to understand sometimes the IT side of it and translate that to the business side, so they understand, and vice versa, to have to get it to blend and merge together and build that business. Okay.
Totally. You get 100. So then a lot of the functions of a business analyst is either start a new project or do process improvement. So I put my focus on process improvement because Historically, I've seen my parents and a lot of our friends' parents and some of them that were entrepreneurs working crazy hours. And I don't think we're made to work more than 40 or 30 hours a week. But we tend to do the opposite.
Facts.
We want to work more, but we're not efficient.
Work
I'm done with that 30-hour
Yeah,
work.
you got to work
Yeah,
smarter.
for sure. 30 hours and then maybe 6 hours training or working on yourself, getting mentorship or actually planning your week or improving yourself. That's what the best companies around the world, they do.
Talk about it.
Instead of working 40 hours, they'll work 30 and they'll work 6 hours to improve the business.
That's it.
Right.
Where a lot of times what ends up happening is that we end up having to work the business. Like we're working in the business, so we can't work on the business.
Yeah, it's fine for a while, but it's not the goal.
Right.
Right. I mean, at the beginning, because the understanding is always when you start a business, or what we've seen is that a lot of people will leave their 40-hour work week. I'm like, because I want to work for myself and I don't want to work all these hours for the man. Then you start your business and you end up working 60, 70, 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, well, did I make the right decision at this point in time? And how do you do that? How do you work smarter, not harder?
Yeah. So to do that, the first thing and the easiest thing is to track your time.
That's it.
Time is precious.
That's the most valuable thing we have.
And when you're
Yes.
saying tracking your time, are you saying that you're allocating a dollar amount to what that time is, and so you have
Yes.
to budget it?
Yes, and you're breaking it down into the type of activities that you're doing in a week. And then you'll see that as you're making more calls or more follow-ups or sending more proposal, well, you're doing more and more admin. So by the time you're starting with a new client, it's costing you money. Like the best example is when construction companies are sending quotes. So you have 2 or 3 or 4 people bidding on the quote. So if you lose it, you've spent money and you haven't closed the deal. So on that alone, you want to. So let's say you're in that type of company. You're sending 100 quotes, but you're only winning 10%, and it costs you, I don't know, 20 hours a week. That's a lot of money that you're losing.
Wow.
So you have to stop at one point and not work more hours, but just stop and look at what you're doing and ask yourself, why am I getting 10% of these deals? Probably my service offer are not detailed enough. I'm not talking to the right person. But you have to have some sort of feedback to make this efficient.
It could be you just don't have the proper relationship with the client.
Okay,
Which
so
brings
that's
us-
something else. So
Yeah.
But also, it's identifying the right business too. Because if I take it back to how I used to recruit, when I still recruit now, but when I did it in a placement agency, we always what we used to say is that you worked close to the money, right? So you worked on the roles that you thought you could close, that you really had a good chance of closing. So instead of doing that RFP or those quotes to all those businesses, you should know what your strengths are and then quote to the business where you know you can
there
bring
you go.
the most value.
There you go. And this is where the fact that we are unique, and it's a conversation we had with Frank many times. Shout out to Frank. We're so unique. Each of us are unique. And it's when we start comparing ourselves to others that we're losing our way.
Right. When you're what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy, and I guess that can be said for work too, for business too.
100%.
If you're playing against the big leagues and you're not there yet, understand where you are. Play in your pool, and then elevate
and grow. So now, I love just the topic of business, because we can just dive in and talk all kind of different things. I want to make sure we stay in line with adding that value in terms of relationship.
Yeah.
Because that's I brought you here because you're a specialist in this terms of what you've been doing. Now, so before we deep dive, because this is what we're about to do. Gina, what was your perspective? Because you didn't get to share it.
Well, you know what, I kind of did while talking with David right now, and as he spoke about that. But again, going back to my career in recruitment, networking is very important in what we do, and that it differs a bit when you're in agency work versus in-house,
Right.
but it's still a bit of the same thing at the end of the day.
It's the same thing.
But in agency, what we used to do is that for anyone that we placed, any good candidate that we used to place who knows this stuff and whatnot, our belief is any good candidate knows other good candidates.
Right.
And then you were able to build your network and create pools and pipelines and stuff like that, and have conversations with people that, even though they may not be someone that you can work with right now, it's the future, the possibilities of what can come. So it's not always about focusing on the short, the short view, if you will. It's more that medium, the short term. There you go. It's not always focusing on the short term, but it's the medium to long term, and building and nurturing those relationships.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on that because that's what I was taught when I had hired a business coach. So this is when we started. This is when we were launching True Kings Records. Well, we already had True Kings running, but we brought in a coach to bring it to the next level. And shout out to our coach Ken Ingram, and he had taught us the value of building relationship. He said the number 1, number 2, and number 3 rule of good business is that people do business with people they like, they trust, and respect. Like that. And the way I just saved you guys used to repeat it. Rule number 1, people do business with people they like, they trust, and respect. Rule number 2, people do business with people they like, they trust, and respect. Now, rule number 3, people do business with people they like, they trust, and respect. I just gave you guys a little nugget there. So now, and I have to say that understanding that sheer fundamental has changed my whole experience. Has changed how I do business, how everything. Like people, anybody who knew me back in the day, who knows me now, really, like I value relationship more.
But can I say too? And sorry, I'm glad we're having this show called the Empower Hour. That we're speaking from the perspective of being within the Black community.
Yeah.
I need the Black community to hear this.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you are 100%.
Because I'm very adamant about spending my dollar within the community.
Yeah.
And there's some people in our community that's never going to see my dollar again.
Yeah, that's just the reality.
And it's unfortunate.
And the thing is,
if they knew those 3 rules.
Gina, what you're saying is so huge and those things hurt me as the person who runs the OFC, because I'm not just thinking about you as an entrepreneur. I'm thinking about your family. I'm thinking about your children. And so we go out of our way to make opportunities for people to get clients. That's literally the power of the OFC, is that we're bringing clients to your front door. Just deal with them. So now when I send a client to a person and they come back to me and they're like, yo, that, bro, what? Yeah. First, I have to now check the entrepreneur, because it's bad for the brand. Like what I just sent you a client is not sticking. But we haven't grasped the fact that to be successful in business, you need repeat clients. Yeah. You can't. It's not one hit. Like you cannot say you will sell one product to one individual, but all over. It's like, no, you need that client to want to come back to you all the time and want to refer friends.
And referral.
That's it. So as soon as you burn that,
referral and networking.
There we go. And that's, you know what I mean. So now, Dave, this is your wheelhouse. So school us, Dave. Let us know. So where do we go from here? So those are the little nuggets that Jen and I know. But
that's all right. So business referral. So BNI, Business Networking and International.
And if you're now joining us, I want to remind people we are now listening to David Casseus, the business analyst. Sorry, continue.
Yes, totally. So business analyst, and since April 1st, the new owner of BNI Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec. Thank you.
Guys, that's huge. All right, guys, that is huge.
Thank you. So, yes, Business Network International is present in 70 countries, more than 70 countries. We have 287,000 members and more than 10,000 chapters. So we're not trying to compare ourselves. We're so unique. Because when the COVID happened, we bought 10,000 Zoom account.
Became the largest Zoom client. I wouldn't be surprised. Right. I'm vexed I didn't buy stocks. I had a feeling things were going to happen, and the stock in Zoom went from nothing to
everything.
But the thing is that we knew this was coming before because we have chapter in Asia.
Right.
So we already adapted. So by the time other networking organizations catch on and started giving alternatives, like in September and November, we were back on within a week.
Wow.
We're not messing around.
Yeah.
And then we've put programs in the following next 2 months to help. It was called the Business Builder, to help all our members readjust to the new reality of COVID.
Amazing. Yep.
So BNI is a marketing system, referrals, word of mouth, because when you're looking for a referral, you're going to ask people from your family, people you know, like trust.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Right? So all our members around the world are vetted, meaning that they fill an application, they have an interview. The interview is two-sided. You're joining a group and we're letting you in a group type of thing. So it's an opportunity to be in BNI. It's not automatic. It's not you join, you pay your membership and you member. No, that's not at all.
And that's what I appreciate about it too.
Everyone is vetted. So if you have family wherever in Atlanta, Georgia, wherever there's a BNI chapter, almost everywhere in the world, you can call and go on the website, the regional website, and refer anyone on that list, and you'll know that person is going to be treated well.
And I like that you're giving context, because for those who are listening, like it shows also just the importance and the value of being able to create OFC BNI chapters, right? And because it's not everybody that just is able to become a member, there's a value to what we're doing. We're literally taking entrepreneurs and leveling them up, like we're putting them in a different
Can we
level.
deep dive on that? I have a twofold question, right? So one, what is BNI doing for like businesses, and what does it mean to be a member of BNI?
So for businesses, what it means is that you all have one representative of your business sitting around a weekly meeting with other like-minded people that are in the Givers Games perspective.
Okay.
Can you elaborate for those who might not know what Givers Games is?
And BNI chapter is a business network meeting once a week. You'll have people from different professions occupying a single seat, so no competition. The real estate agent, the mortgage broker, the home inspector. Then you'll have different field, all the professional services, the accountants, different plethora of coaches, the tax lawyers, etc. You'll have people in marketing, you'll have people in HR, you'll have people in health and wealth services, right?
But it's industry exclusive, so there's only one of each kind.
Exactly. Unlike
in each region, you mean, or in each chapter?
Each chapter, there's only one of each industry type.
So in one region, so let's take Canada as a whole. We have chapters all over Canada. Just in Montreal, I don't remember, we probably have 10 or 15 different chapters. And in each of these chapters, you'll have one real estate agent, one financial planner.
Okay.
And the groups will be different because the energy and the people you attract are basically the sum of the group. So they all work as separate units, but they're part of a larger community. And so we are worldwide. Most of my meetings that I do, half of them are not even in North America.
So now the purpose of being, so let's talk about the purpose of being a member within BNI, right? So like, because I mean, at first, while you were explaining, I was just like, okay, wait, do you have to be a business owner? But then you started talking about the different type of professionals that you have in there. So how do you become a member? How does a member contribute, and what is the member receiving from BNI?
So the membership, excellent question. The membership, the goal when you're joining BNI is you want to get more business through referrals. That's the first one. Then you want to become an educated networker. I call them sophisticated networker, because we go to events and we don't have a single clue of what we're doing in terms of networking. You go to an event and you'll have the guy giving a card to everyone, right?
Right.
He's in all the networking event. He just doesn't know.
Right.
You'll have the person talking to you for an hour. You'll have most of us, when we're explaining our business, we're being so wide and not specific enough that people are like, well, you do everything.
Right.
And that's too broad.
Way too broad.
Exactly. So
there's even ways to stand, and these are some of the key tips and tricks I learned from Dave through BNI. But it's like, even in a networking meeting, like depending on how you stand, it makes the conversation open for other people to join, or you've closed it, so now it's just you and that individual talking.
Exactly.
Right. And these are simple fundamentals, but it makes a world of a difference when you're networking.
So BNI is giving you the tips and tricks and tools on how to improve your networking capabilities, as well as as connecting you with other people, other like-minded people who want to know how to network more, but then you get to speak to them to understand what their business does or what you might need in your business from them.
And know more like how do I get them an introduction to their A clients.
That's it. I was going to say, because at the end, at la base, the base is to get more clients.
Yes.
And that's another cool thing. I think it's important that people understand that before joining BNI, they ask you, can you handle more clients? Because you don't join BNI if you can't take on, because you will get business. You will get referrals.
So this is for business owners.
For sure.
Ultimately speaking.
Entrepreneurs, business owners who are in particular fields.
I mean, not to say that no HR person out there is a business owner, but I think when I think HR, normally someone in HR is someone who's part of a business as opposed to them being a business owner. But you're probably looking at it as bringing the business they work for more business, basically.
Well, you'll have a lot of HR. They would start off as HR consultant, get so much business, then they would grow a team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so are you talking about recruiters or HR?
No, because we have one in the network. So shout out to Fadia, Rudy's wife. Actually, she's an independent HR consultant. So she comes into organizations and companies and she helps them with their HR.
I see.
Right? And then, so that we could now send her all type of different clients, and she could expand to a point where she needs to hire other people to work for her to go in and to go and service other businesses and stuff as well. So
yeah, totally. So HR consultant, they'll help you hire your first employees until your next 10 and puts a structure in place. You're not going to hire them full time, but whenever you need them,
right, and
on very specific tasks. So yes, there is, and that's the thing. We don't know. Mm-hmm. I work closely with HR consultants, or CRHA in French, all the time, and marketing firm as well.
Mm.
Right.
So these are my two in a chapter or in any other chapter, or when I get introduction all over the world, I always ask them to get me an introduction to a marketing firm or HR consultant, because they know what a business analyst do.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk networking. Why is this so important? Why should we be so hyper focused on it today? And I don't know if we want to deep dive into social media, because I'm a little green when it comes to that. I understand how important social media is in terms of networking, but I have a little more of that old school networking of where you meet up at a place and you do cassettes type of thing.
Yeah, this is it. This is what we do. Why? Because you're gonna look at most of the business, and when they look at the source of their best referrals or their best new business, it's referrals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad thing is that that's our best place, but we're still going to put money on the funnels. Yeah. You have to have a diversity mix to have a different type of clients coming at different time. But the word of mouth referral marketing is the strongest.
Because it's a relationship. That's
the oldest.
It's the relation. It's the
our
oldest
ancestry.
And exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is how it was made. So BNI as a system, we're essentially, and now I'm going to start using some of our methodology that were developed by our founder, Dr. Ivan Meisner. Mm-hmm. We have a concept called the power of one. Mm. So the power of one, it's education. So we have educational credits, all type of content to help you be more efficient as a networker. You can go and Google it. It's called bnipodcast.com. Mm-hmm. It's free. You can even download it on your application on Twitter or the podcast app on iPhones. Mm-hmm. So it's how do you become a better networker, as you were explaining earlier, getting into an event, working on the room, who's alone, the open circles, closed circles. Mm-hmm. What do you ask?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to a networking event, what do you ask? So a good strategy for a networker is by the end of the meeting, okay, so that's again in one of the podcasts, you should be one of the first person to arrive to an event. Mm. So now you're like the guest orientator.
Right, you're seeing people as they're coming in, and they're seeing you as they're coming in too.
Oh,
Exactly.
interesting, because I always have the concept of give it a minute, let everyone get there,
right,
and then because I'll be honest, I'm not. I have to turn on my alter ego when it comes down to networking, because I'm an introvert. Yeah, my Sasha Fierce, 100%.
Right.
Because I'm an introvert, and going to networking events is highly draining for me. Mm-hmm. But it's still very important. And it's not that I don't like doing it. It just takes a lot of energy out of it for me. But that's why I like to go in and out. And
can I give you guys a random nugget that I learned this past weekend in Toronto? Go ahead. Shout out to Yandy's mom. So it was a birthday party, and it's like, I'm meeting new people. So these are people I don't know. So I just introduced them. Hey, I'm Pharaoh. And Yandy's mom is sitting at the table, and she's like, when you're at a party and you're meeting new people, ask the relationship with the person, like what brought both you guys together.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so where do you know Yandy from? And where do you know Yandy from? And it breaks the ice. I was like, wow, Mom, that was awesome. That was a good piece of nugget. So I figured I'd share that with the listeners. So wherever you're at a party, so that, that you're invited, everybody was invited by one particular person, and you're meeting new people, that's an icebreaker. So in case you guys, you need that, you're welcome.
Totally. So as an icebreaker, when you're you're meeting a potential partner or anyone, you should ask these 5 questions. It's called the Gains Profile.
You guys get your paper and pen.
I was like, get some paper and pen right now. You're about to get some nuggets for real.
The Gains Profile, the Google Gains Profile BNI podcast. You'll listen to the podcast, and there's an article also in the Entrepreneur.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Goals, accomplishment, interest, network, and skills.
Goals, accomplishment, network.
Yeah, let's repeat that one more again.
Yeah.
Goals, accomplishment, interest, network, and skills.
And these are the questions that you're asking that person, or that's the conversation?
Like those seems like the subjects.
These are the 5 questions you're asking everyone every time you're meeting a new person and adding him in your network. Mm-hmm. In a networking event, not so much. It's going to be there's going to be more general questions like what advice would you give someone starting in your business, type of thing, or who's your ideal client, the one that, if you get one a month, you're going to have to hire multiple employees. Mm-hmm. That type of questions. Very specific. What got you started? Things like that. Mm-hmm. And you never say what you do.
What?
And then you go around the room.
Confusion.
You go around the room and you ask these questions. So as the visitor host, hey, Pharaoh, what would be a good introduction for you tonight at the networking event?
Mm-hmm. People who are looking to connect with like-minded individuals and business owners.
Perfect. Any specific professions?
No, it's open for everybody.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'll talk to you later. And then you ask the question to everyone coming in. I need a lawyer. Then the next guy after, I'm a lawyer.
And you're like, hey, go meet Jim over there.
No. Then you walk in the room, you know almost everyone, and now hey, Jim, you wanted to speak to a lawyer? Let me introduce you to my friend Tom right here.
I mean, are you walking around with paper and pen during this time? Because how do you remember everybody?
You will remember.
Mm-hmm. It's an art, it's a skill, it's a practice.
You will remember.
But nothing hurts than making notes in your phone.
No, 100%.
Red dress, looking for accountant. Got it.
Because granted, most of the networks that I went to, because I work in IT, right? So, I mean, you normally would break down between the categories within what I came and see. So that's a little easier. But when you're talking about it could be any and everybody in there, I'm going to have to be like, I mean, I need you to have a name tag and what you do on there.
It's okay. These are different techniques, but you're this is referral marketing.
Because what I'm hearing from that is right away in the room, you've increased your value in the room.
Yes.
Because now people will see you and they're
I'm
like,
the connector.
You literally, that's it. You become the link. People now, everybody wants to connect with you.
Exactly. But that person is not yet vetted. So it's another podcast. The 24 hours, 7:30 follow-up. 24, 7:30.
Okay.
24 hours, you'll send an email to that person saying, hey, Pharaoh, it was good to meet you at the event, the name of the event, yesterday, etc. I remember we spoke briefly about this and this. I would love to plan a future one-to-one. Just get a little more about your business.
I want to know more about you. I'm not here. I'm not reaching out to tell you about me.
No, that doesn't work. You look like a hunter.
I love that.
Yeah, and you'll get these on LinkedIn all the time. You send me these message. The reason they do it, because there's a percentage of people or timing or whatever, it works, but it's not even made by the person. It's a robot or an assistant doing it.
Right.
It's all right, but that's not how we connect. I connect to introduction of introductions of introduction.
That's it.
So that's the first thing, is learning all that part. Okay, so we have to not we have, but it's recommended that you take at least, or you do at least an hour a month listening to different learning and BNI. And it's all part of your membership, your yearly membership. Attendance, you have to be present. So you'll see in the different groups, you'll have a roster of 30 or 40 or 15 per business owner or members on the group. And when you go there, 3, because everybody has a reason to do something else.
Right.
But us, it's mandatory. You have to be there every week, or else you have to get a sub that is still going to represent your company. And when you get a sub, it was always an introduction, a potential client, instead of just me not showing that client or that visitor or someone, especially visitors, they don't even know your business exists.
That's it, and that's the importance of being present, right? Because every person around the table they're bringing other guests, right?
Yes, and we tracked it.
That's it.
When someone is missing a meeting, the impact it has on his ability to receive referrals.
You see, and that's exactly that. Again, I didn't even highlight that. That was the other mind blowing thing that I appreciated with BNI was the metrics, was the data that's collected.
We track everything.
Everything. So it's just like, no, and this is, so you could literally, with a formula practically, say, well, look, if you do this, this, and this is how much you should be receiving in terms of referrals. If you're not doing this, this, and this, well, then you can't wonder why you're not making the money.
Yeah.
Simple.
It's marketing. You have a return on investment.
Right.
You have to track your activity. So when you're tracking time and you're doing the 5 things of the power of one, you will start seeing some results. And then the longer you stay and the faster you build the speed of trust between 2 people, that's when like trust, and that's when you refer. But we speed up that process, right? The other one is one-to-one. So how are you having structured one-to-one with people? So what do you do for the first one and the second one and the third one and the fourth one? There's a sequence. If you wing it every time, you actually have no feedback of if it's working or not.
You're absolutely right, man, Dave. So now I'm looking at the time, and I feel there's more nuggets we could touch on. So now I'm looking at our DJ. I'm wondering if we could go into a musical break, because we don't have Queen Kaya with us this morning, so we could play with time a little bit. We could jump on her time. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, all right. So then, so we could go 10 more minutes, and then we could go into our musical break. Awesome, Dave. Should I give us enough time to hit all the key points? Beautiful.
Yes. So one-to-ones, they are more about teaching your team, so the members of your chapter, what are the referral signals for you. I don't care about how you do your job.
Right.
I assume you're a professional, then you were vetted.
Right.
So if you do, you should be doing your job. That's the the least thing I expect.
Right. Yeah.
Then I'm making you a referral. It is not a sale. And it depends of the level of introduction that you do. So for me, the best ones are when you're with a potential client and just call me. Most of the time, I don't answer my phone. But sometimes I'm not doing anything, and just having that 3-way conversation, for sure, the meeting with that person will be booked.
For sure. Yeah.
Because what I do is all relationship based. I'm getting into a business. People are not looking for me on Google. They don't even know that it exists.
Right. I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing of BNI, so
that's it. And there's even there's a process in terms of how to refer, because I know a lot of us, like we have a tendency of saying, okay, so I'll have X person call you, but that's in terms of giving good referrals. You speak to your business client and your business person, and you say, call this client. It's just a slight difference in the dynamic, but the client might take a week to call the person, because yes, I need it, but whatever be the case. But the person, if you now switch it and you talk to the entrepreneur and you say somebody's looking for your business or your service, yeah, I'm calling you now. It's like,
when I was looking for a tenant, I spoke to my neighbor. She was selling, and she had told me that her real estate agent had found her tenant when she needed prior to selling. Right. I was like, oh, cool. I'll probably reach out to her. Like, can you send me her contact information? I'll probably reach out to her when it comes out in time for me finding my tenant. And I got into other stuff, right?
Of course, yep.
And I got distracted and all these things. And at the end of the day, it's not her paying me. This is me money coming out of there. But then that could have been I could have been a potential client.
Exactly, yeah.
So she hopped into my emails.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, such and such, let me know that you might be looking at. I'm available when you need me. Now, not only do I have your phone number from a text, I have your email address. I can communicate with you better. I have all your contact information.
Exactly.
And granted, I found my own tenant. Had I not, though,
you were
that would
calling
have been 100%.
Yeah.
Because her initiative was where I was just like, because you're going to be working for me.
Exactly.
Like, you're someone where I feel like, okay, you're on your P's and Q's.
And that's what it's about.
Totally. So that part of referrals, especially for a new member. So in average, a chapter of 25 members will generate more than $1 million in referral.
You guys heard that? Okay. Sorry.
So for some, it's a mindset change because you're surrounded with like-minded people in different fields. So you can talk to a lawyer, you can talk to an accountant for your own business, and then you can have feedback from other entrepreneurs that went through the same steps you did, trying to scale up their business, hiring your first employee. That's firing your first employee, but even reaching profitability or hitting your first $1 million. All these different targets and goals that we set ourselves as business owner, and to do that all within balance. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So the referral process. So we want a new member to receive referrals as fast as possible, but we expect it's going to take them anywhere between 1 and 6 months to give their referrals because they have to vet everyone in each chapter.
Right. Because everyone else is vetted. Like, I mean, I have a list of people.
That's it.
And I know who this is, whereas you're just coming in and you have to learn who does what to be able to vet and give.
Makes sense.
Exactly. So we're going to, in a larger chapter, you're only going to focus on your power team. So the people that are more likely to refer you. Let's take the real estate one because it's easy.
Yeah.
So you go and hopefully you go talk to your financial planner first.
Right.
And then your mortgage broker, and then your home
inspector,
your real estate agent,
right?
Home inspector, general contractor, cleaner, window cleaner. All these different positions in a chapter. If you start with these people and you do most of your one-to-ones with these guys, you're going to have more referral as any of these positions.
And if you think about the science, because all these positions are sharing the same client. Right. So it's like, me as a contractor,
needs all of them.
That's it. So me as a contractor, now I have a person that, needs particular work on their house, or I heard them mention that they need whatever insurance. I'm referring them back within the collective, and now they're going through the cycle. Same thing. Now I'm a real estate agent. I just sold a property. I'm going to refer back to the insurance broker within my circle, back to the, that insurance broker is going to say, okay, now the person mentioned something. I'm going to refer to the contractor in my circle. So it's really like that one client is being, received by X amount of businesses within that circle. In terms of how much revenue that they're generating, it's huge because the person is going to spend that money anyways. But now you're able to spend it within your collective, and they know they're getting a certain quality product. They're getting a certain quality work because they're all coming from the same chapter.
So this is what we want to create with BNI and OFC working together, is to have these chapters of a proven method that is worldwide, and that is bringing these individual business owners, solopreneurs starting 2-3 years down the road, they have 10 employees. They're working 30 hours a week. We have so many success stories
all through BNI.
So, now I know we're winding down, but I have a question because today's day and age, I feel like the sale tactics have changed, and I actually just got a call. I got a call in these last days, right? I don't know how the person got my number. And to get into my building, I have to get a call. So I just thought I was expecting a delivery, but the man came in. First of all, the call wasn't clear. I couldn't understand what he was trying to sell me, but he's trying to sell me something, and I was just like, "Oh no, thank you, I'm not interested." The man asked me, "Are you scared?"
Oh, okay.
I was like, "What? Yeah, it's a buy for me though," and I hung up, right? And is this the new age selling?
No. On that one, okay. I'm gonna be super honest because I was listening to the previous conversation. I don't get distracted. Personal leadership is how you react to a situation. My goals are super clear, personal and professional ones. These things, they don't faze me. I don't care. If you were receiving a call from Apple for a new product, believe me, you would be listening. We all like to be sold to. It depends what. And then some of us, we like being pressure sold, and others to have the data, etc. That's what I was telling earlier. We're so unique.
Yeah, you can't. It's not one way. You have to know the person.
At this point, you have to try your way and then hope to find someone that you're selling that right to.
We all have our goals to reach, and this guy, if that's the approach he's taking, definitely it's not going to work with a lot of people. But with some, it will. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just want to bring that back. Personal leadership is how we react to a situation. That's all.
Because I was offended,
Right.
And not even offended, because no, I'm not scared, but and maybe again, like I said, I have an older school way of doing things. But I would never
It's not
approach
for
a
you.
candidate like
Exactly.
No,
It's
yeah.
not for you.
You know, so-
It's not for you. It's not the type of service you want or the approach you want. So thank you very much. No, not an answer. Bye.
So Dave, like you, the wealth of knowledge, and I just feel you're gonna have to come back again, because I feel we gave nuggets.
I have one last thing.
Yes, good. Okay.
For the power of one to be completed.
Good. Thank you. Shoot.
Referrals.
Okay.
So you join BNI because you want to give referrals, and by giving referrals, you receive one.
That's the giver's gain. So
right,
we
because
mentioned
everyone's
it before.
giving. So
Exactly.
if you're gonna give, someone has to receive.
Yeah,
But
So,
but
okay.
a lot of other networking organization, everybody's sitting around the table waiting for
To take.
referrals. So what happens? Nobody gets anything.
Talk about it.
Yeah, that's-
Giver's gain, and that's really what it is. That's the whole giver's gain model of BNI.
Yeah.
It's like, giver's gain.
Now I understand what giver's gain means. It's
Right?
to me, it just sounded like a term before.
Exactly.
Now,
Right.
now it has a clarity.
That's
you
great.
go.
Yeah.
Yay.
Dave, high five to that.
Thank you, brother.
So
Yeah,
how can how can we find you? How can people submit membership requests?
Right.
Talk to us a bit about that.
Sure. So I represent, like I said, the region of Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec. So Ottawa, Gatineau, that's quite a big region. You can reach me on the website bnieast.com or at bnieast.com. You're going to see my name, Executive Director David Casseus. You can send me an email directly there or LinkedIn.
As we're wrapping up, Dave, tell me, do you have some final words to leave with our audience, our listeners? Like nuggets, tips, tricks, anything you want to leave them with?
Well, mainly that we are pretty active starting these new BNI OFC group.
Yep.
I think it's going to have, it's going to have a great impact in our community and helping more business owners benefit some of wonderful systems like the BNI and the network that is associated with it. So yeah, and thank you for the show, the energy, the discussion. It's quite entertaining, I must say.
Awesome.
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
I thank you for being here. So one more time, if you want to plug your handles so people just know where to reach you.
On LinkedIn, David Casseus, and on BNI at bnieast.com.
Kings and queens, this was the Empower Hour with Pharaoh Freeman, Queen Kaya, and Gina the Great. We are on live every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. and broadcasting Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Subscribe and watch us on empowermtl.com and email us at empowermtl@gmail.com to anonymously be featured on our What's the Tea Mail segment. Stay blessed, black, and highly favored.